What's up YouTube? Welcome back. Today it is the Lazy Daze Channel and we're back at it again. You've got Tubby and you've got Jack and we're doing some history reaction for you guys today, and we're back onto the World War I by Epic History TV. Now we're going to be doing 1917 and then we're going to be doing 1918 and then we're going to go back and do World War I, the Battle of Somme. We thought we'd just sort of go over each year first, then we'll look at the battles. Obviously we've watched 1914, 1915, 1916. They've been very enjoyable. So loving the comments you guys are putting down there, loving the suggestions. We will be jumping on the Napoleonic Wars very shortly, and that you should see that sort of later on in the week. But for this type of content, I'm really enjoying it. What about yourself?
Yeah, definitely enjoying it. Again, it's just Epic History TV's content. It's great. It's more detailed, and it's kind of more informative in a way of what really goes on, how things are actually done.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this.
Yeah, and there was a video me and Smokes for 20 watched the other day with the First Crusades, and it actually showed a battle scene. It hasn't done that yet, but I imagine that Battle of Somme is going to be basically showing individuals. So I do quite like it when they do sort of put that information, they put that in there, whereas there's a little battle, they've got more information. So hopefully they might have something in this episode for us. If you guys are enjoying the content, then head over to his page. Link will be in the description down below. If you're enjoying our content, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below to anything you want, and we're just going to jump straight into this.
Let's do this.
In 1960, World War I became a war of attrition. Both sides began to focus less on winning victory on the battlefield than grinding down the enemy, and inflicting such enormous losses they would be forced to surrender.
Okay, so it wasn't
in
about
1970,
victory.
The strategy will push Europe's major powers to the brink of collapse.
Makes sense.
Germany knows it will lose a long war of attrition against the Allies, who have greater resources. So its leaders gamble. They resume unrestricted submarine warfare, believing their U-boats can cut off Britain's food imports by sea and starve the country into surrender within 6 months. But the new shoot-on-sight tactics mean neutral American ships will inevitably be caught in the crossfire, risking America joining the war on the Allied side. Just 2 days into the campaign, the SS Housatonic, an American steamer carrying wheat from Galveston, Texas to England, is sunk by a U-boat. The British then pass to the US government a telegram they've intercepted from German Foreign Secretary Arthur Zimmermann to the German ambassador in
This
Mexico.
was in the last episode, wasn't it?
Germany is encouraging Mexico to attack America if America and Germany end up at war. The so-called Zimmermann telegram puts yet more pressure on US President Wilson to declare war on Germany. In Russia, enormous casualties and bread shortages lead to riots and revolution. The Tsar abdicates. A provisional government takes charge, pledging to continue the war. But at the front, Russian troops begin to desert en masse.
That is not good for the Russians, is it, mate?
After a string of German provocations, the US finally declares war on Germany. It brings immense resources to the Allied cause.
Yeah, they're just...
But they will take many months to mobilize.
The amount
and the German gamble of
products the US can
submarine
provide is
warfare
ridiculous.
may still pay off. April is the U-boat's most successful month of the war. They
Shut
sunk
up.
886,000 tons of Allied shipping.
Holy shit.
An average of 17
17
ships a day. All packed with urgently needed food and supplies.
They were on
Britain will face
smoke.
starvation if the U-boats are not defeated soon.
Gee, imagine that. You made it all the way
On the
from the
Western
States and you just get taken out on the
British
shores.
launched
Oh,
the Battle
mate.
of Arras,
You'd be
a
so upset.
diversion to support a major upcoming French offensive. After heavy fighting, Canadian troops seized the high ground of Vimy Ridge. It's a limited Allied victory, but costs 150,000 Allied casualties to 130,000 German. Above the trenches, the first
Numbers
air
don't get
war
any
has
better.
reached
No, they
new
don't.
levels of sophistication and deadliness. Reconnaissance aircraft are crucial for spotting enemy positions and directing artillery fire onto them. Scout aircraft or fighters try to shoot them down before they can execute their mission. New models of aircraft are developed every few months, but that spring, the superiority of German aircraft leads to heavy Allied losses in what becomes known as Bloody April.
They had that delay
Yeah.
on their gun, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jesus.
3 days after the fall of Vimy Ridge, French General Robert Nivelle launches his main offensive. Expectations are high, but after initial success, the advance bogs down and casualties quickly mount on both sides.
No, it's just chucking men into a meat grinder, this war. That's all it was.
83,000 French and
63,000
163,000
Apparently
Germans.
senseless losses cause
Like I
morale
said at
in
the
the
start, it
French
wasn't
army
about
to
tactical, it
collapse,
was
No.
literally just who could
Yeah.
bleed the other one dry first.
refusing to attack.
Oh, well
General
done, lads.
Nivelle
Refuse to
is
attack
sacked
because you
as
know it's a
French
fucking
commander-in-chief
suicide.
and replaced by General Pétain, hero of Verdun, who promises no more suicidal attacks.
Okay.
Okay, we like this guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he actually
That
sticks to
summer,
it.
Yeah.
At Messines Ridge, the British tunnel under the German lines and detonate 19 enormous mines under the enemy position. It's the largest man-made explosion in history to date.
Jesus.
Paves the way
Oh
to a
my
brilliant
God.
That is
but
crazy.
highly local British victory.
Oh my fucking Christ.
In Greece, King Constantine, who has favoured neutrality, is forced to abdicate, and Greece joins the Allies.
Okay. That's...
Russia's
better.
provisional government orders a new attack, but the July offensive is a disaster. The morale and discipline of the Russian army has collapsed. It can no longer be relied on to fight, and the Central Powers' counterattack is almost unopposed.
Oh, shit.
At sea, the Allies begin to group their merchant ships into convoys, which sail under naval escort. The new system leads to a steady fall in losses. The tide is turning in
Okay.
the U-boat war.
Introduced in July. Okay.
As discontent with the war grows in Germany, the German parliament, the Reichstag, passes a peace resolution, calling for a peace of understanding and reconciliation. It's ignored by the German High Command, which now effectively rules the country as a military dictatorship. In Belgium, the British launched their major offensive of 1917, the Third Battle of Ypres. It will be remembered as Passchendaele. Heavy shelling, rain and broken irrigation channels turned the battlefield
Holy
into a
shit.
sea of mud. In these impossible conditions, all hopes of a breakthrough soon fade.
Yeah, I bet.
The attack is called off after 3 months, by which point the British have suffered 240,000 casualties. The Germans,
Mate, the
200,000.
casualties in this war.
This is insane.
Oh.
Like, the fact that the entire battlefield for 3 months was just mud and water. You can't move.
Yeah, you can't move. You're stuck there.
You
like-
literally moving, what, 5 metres in front of you is going to take some time.
Yeah.
Under fire as well. Like,
Under
it's,
fire,
you can't
like,
do
you
it.
can't do shit. Yeah, that's why it was called off after 3 months. 240,000 to 200,000. I know.
It took 3 months for them to realise, yeah, no, this ain't going to work.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
this
mate.
is just insane.
Mate, there were so many trials and error in this war.
Oh.
Like, it's crazy.
It was too much trial and error.
It was too much trial.
Too much.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
On the Italian front, at the 11th Battle of the Isonzo, Italian and Austro-Hungarian forces batter each other into exhaustion. There are 150,000 Italian casualties, 100,000 Austro-Hungarian.
Mate, it does. It, like, even though, like, at this point, it's still so unsure on who's going to win.
Yeah.
And we're only in we're in 1917. Do you know what I mean? There's not long left, but it still seems it's so unsure of who actually could win. Like we're using more men and we're losing more men, and we're just barely getting any ground. But we are getting bits slowly. So eventually, I think we would win. But like, it's the
too much
cost,
loss of life.
The cost
It's
is
too much loss of life.
outrageous. The cost for the victory would be outrageous.
I can't believe these men were leaders
Yeah.
to allow just to send their own people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care how we're going to do this.
Yeah,
we're
I
just
don't
going to
think I
send you
could.
in,
Yeah.
and you're going to either die or you're going to win. So.
But again,
I mean, the Russians turning around though. The revolution of Russia. They were just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. That was a big one as well. Like Russia falling out as well. That would have helped our side, the Allied side, more if they had us stuck. But obviously, the revolution happened.
That year, 1917, the list of Allied nations grows. Brazil, Liberia, China, and Siam all declare war on Germany as a result of German U-boat attacks, or to curry favour with the Allies. China will contribute many thousands of labourers working for the Allies in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. That year in the Middle East, British forces avenged their 1916 humiliation at Kut by defeating the Ottoman Turks and marching on to occupy Baghdad. British forces in Egypt advance across the Sinai Desert, but are thrown back by Ottoman forces at the First and Second Battles of Gaza. In July, Arab rebels capture the strategic Ottoman port of Aqaba. They are accompanied by a British military advisor, Captain T.E.
Oh yeah,
Lawrence,
I forgot they said
better known
to
as
revolt,
Lawrence
didn't
of
they?
Arabia.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Oh really?
That autumn, British Foreign Secretary Arthur
He was,
Balfour
yeah. I
issued
don't know much about him, but
Yeah.
I have heard Lawrence of Arabia was like he was able to. He done some shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
the Balfour
Might have to
Declaration,
have a look into that. If you guys have any links or any
creation of
videos,
a
let us know.
national home for the Jews in Palestine. The aim is to rally Jewish support for the Allies, but the declaration contradicts existing pledges to Arab leaders. In October, the British finally win at Gaza, clearing the way for an advance into Palestine. 6 weeks later, General Allenby leads British troops into Jerusalem, ending 400 years of Ottoman rule.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is the one where the Ottoman Empire collapses. I'm not too sure though.
With Russian forces in disarray, Germany is able to move troops from the east to the Italian front. At the Battle of Caporetto, they helped to smash through the Italian army, advancing 70 miles and taking
That's a
quarter
lot.
of a million prisoners.
Ooh, that's a
British
big
and
win
French
for them.
divisions, desperately needed
That's
on the Western
insane.
Front, have to be redeployed to shore up the line. In Russia, a second revolution brings Lenin's Bolshevik party to power. He is determined to end Russia's involvement in the war. In France, Georges Clemenceau becomes Prime Minister. Nicknamed the Tiger, he promises total war and total victory. But for the Allies in late 1917, final victory looks uncertain. Russia has stopped fighting. French armies are recovering from mutiny. The Italian front has almost collapsed. And American
Does not look
reinforcements
good.
still seem a long way off.
Didn't realise the French had mutinies.
For
Yeah,
the time
mate.
being, the British are the only effective Allied force in the field.
Oosh, come on.
Come on, boys.
Big boys.
British
Yeah.
attack at Cambrai with the first major tank assault in history. On the first
Fuck
day,
seeing that coming up
nearly
to me.
400
For the first time,
that.
yeah.
spearhead and advance.
Absolutely not, bro.
Imagine
fucking
never
not.
seeing a tank in your
I've
fucking life.
I've dealt with men on horses. I've dealt with cannons. Absolutely fine. But when I fucking see that coming at me, I'm done.
You're done. Like,
Never seen that
literally,
before, I'm
you
like,
pop
nah.
your head up from your trench and you see that thing coming to you. You're like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah,
mate?
what the
Like,
fuck is this?
What am I supposed to do against this thing? Like,
my bullets
literally, you
aren't
turn
doing
to your
anything.
boy and you just go like, what?
You just sounds like, have you seen over the trench? Nah. Pop your head up, bruv. Nah, bruv.
No, I just ain't going. Like, this is
You're
it.
dead.
Like,
You
like-
don't have a chance. You don't have a chance.
You would shit yourself, bro.
What the hell are you gonna do? Like, oh yeah, I'm the cannon guy. Nothing
I think
can
I'd
get
run.
past me.
I think
like,
you'd have to flee. You'd have to flee.
I don't. Yeah.
You'd have to flee. Like, I'd go up to my commander. I'd be like, until we get something like this, I ain't coming back. Like, until we get some of these.
Go deal with him.
Yeah. Like, fucking hell.
Fuck that, man.
Mate, you would shit yourself, especially if it started spraying out fire or something. Do you know what I mean?
if they had a flamethrower in
was-
that thing.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Seeing that for the first time with a flamethrower, fuck a cannon. Flamethrower scared me more. I'd be like, oh
On
my
a battlefield full
God.
of trenches and you've got a flamethrower.
Oh
Nah.
my God.
Nah.
Several miles through German defences.
Look at it.
But then
400
tanks
tanks.
break down or are knocked out. The Germans rush in reinforcements, and the gains are lost.
Oh shit. Really didn't help them. It's the mechanics though, isn't it? They're breaking
It
down.
was like the first thing,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first time on the field.
Independence from
I
Russia.
don't think it was the first time on the field. I think it was the first time they done like a group of them. I think they'd like tested one or two out in the field on their own, but it was the first time they'd done like a battalion
Oh,
or
okay,
like
yeah.
a
Okay, I'm
squadron
with you.
of tanks going
Right.
out together.
Romania, isolated by the Russian collapse, signs an armistice with the Central Powers. 6 days later, Russia
Right.
also signs an armistice. The Allied Eastern Front
Okay.
is no more.
No. They're signing an armistice with Germany and Austro-Hungary to stop the war, to stop fighting.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not like they literally just go into Germany, Australia. Look, we'll do a ceasefire.
Yeah.
You know, no one moves anymore. We stay where we are, and we'll pick this up again. Is what I'm understanding. So it's not good for us.
1917
We just
has
lost
seen
2 people
one
who were fighting for
major
us, aren't we?
Allied power, Russia, knocked out of the war.
Russia.
But the arrival of a fresh new ally, America. Germany knows only military victory can now save it from being overwhelmed by Allied resources, and begins planning one last massive onslaught for the spring of 1918. Epic history.
I guess that'll be in the next video. That's really interesting. I'm so surprised that it's still so up in the air.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, like, we have got obviously the Americans backing us now, but even before the Americans backed us, it was just so like up in the air. Like Austro-Hungary, Germany were doing well. They basically knocked the Italians nearly out of the war. They started winning that front. They've like knocked Russia out. So if America didn't join us, God knows what us and France could have done.
I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, we were still the strongest country out there on
Yeah,
the line
but-
at the time, but I mean, given time, if America didn't join at the time that they did, it could have gone Germany taking the whole lot.
Yeah, easy. The fact that Russia signed the armistice as well, that was a big victory for the Germans.
I mean, the Russian people weren't exactly having the best of times.
No, they weren't, but you still take it as a victory if you're German.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Take it as a victory.
It's one less. It's one less people to worry about. Now I can focus on the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
Once I've got Europe, I can then look at going into Russia and Middle East and stuff like that. That's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it.
I'm loving this, and I'm looking forward to the last episode and seeing how it goes.
That's it, and then we've got the Battle of Somme afterward as well, which we'll be doing. If you guys are liking our content, then please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to go over to Epic Histories TV's channel, the link will be in the description down below. But other than that, guys, we will catch you in the next one.